Hello everyone. Hope everyone had a good holiday. Their Memorial Day was good because mine surely was. But just wanted to come on and say a few things. Questions people may have, not know how to ask. As I said before, if this doesn't interest you, keep strolling. I know when I was going through abuse, even recovering from abuse, there was a lot of things, unanswered questions that I had. That didn't really have anybody to ask or was afraid to ask or ashamed to ask. But some of the things I had to deal with or go through when I first got out of the abusive situation, I first had to accept the fact that I was abused, and it wasn't a sign of weakness. Actually, I allowed it, into my life because I wanted to be loved. And nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just you open your heart to someone to let love in. And in return, you get abused, mistreated. May it be physically, emotionally. Abuse is abuse. But however way you were abused, it's not your fault. The abuser is going to do his best or her best to make you feel that you have not done anything right from the day you met them. Don't fall for that, because that is the goal, to make you feel like it's your fault. Something's wrong with you. You're the reason it's happening. You're the reason that it happened in the first place. And that's furthest from the truth. So you have to first accept the fact that you've been abused. And there's nothing wrong with you. It's not your fault that you have been abused. And you have to then start setting boundaries for yourself. Okay, when I said boundaries, if you don't begin setting boundaries for yourself, first of all, you're never going to leave and stay gone. You'll end up leaving and going back again and again. You won't make it permanent. You have to start setting boundaries. And then sometimes it's not just in just a man and woman relationship, or a relationship so far as a love relationship. It could be a friendship relationship. You just have to learn to set boundaries for yourself and not allow people to come into your life and dictate, control, manipulate. You stay away from those types of relationships. Set boundaries. You are allowed to love yourself. Matter of fact, that's important. Self-love. You are allowed to love yourself. You are worthy of love just like anybody else. People make mistakes. God forgives you. You have to forgive you. And that's something that we have had a hard time doing as abused, being the abused. We don't want to forgive ourselves because we are not perfect. By no means have I ever thought I was perfect. But that didn't give anyone the right to put their hands on me, to make me feel like I was less than. If I don't agree with something someone does or says, I move on. You have the right to move out of that situation. You don't have to stay in that situation. So there's a few things you have to do. You have to, like I said, identify the fact that you have been abused. Then you have to set boundaries for yourself. And then you try to stay out of volatile situations and away from volatile people. And that means in any way, may it be friendship, may it be relationships, may it be family, doesn't matter. Friendships, work relationships. Sometimes you have to go to work and be reasonable with people and be kind with people, but you don't have to be friends with people. We can go try to get along, be respectful, but then once we clock that clock to go home, that's the last communication we'll have until we work together again. There's all kinds of ways you have to set boundaries for yourself. There's some people that are going to understand what you're going through, and there's some people that is not. So you don't have to explain yourself. You do not have to, because it could be where you're in communities where people know your abuser and people know you. I learned a long time ago, in situations, there are going to be two sides. Okay. Actually, I've learned from my husband, there are three sides. There's your side, is their side, and in between there lies the truth. Now, I know how I felt, and I know what happened in my relationship. But if you saw the exact same thing, you may get a little bit something different out of it than what I got. But you are allowed to take what you saw, what you felt, what you had to live with, that version, and choose you. You are allowed to. So to tell your version of how you feel to someone else with expectations that they're going to agree with what you felt, agree with what you did, and how you handle it, you're wasting your time, because you may never get the approval. You may never get the understanding. Agree to disagree and move on. That is the best thing to do. The better thing to do is don't discuss it. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody. And if a person really means you any well, they shouldn't try to get you to explain yourself to anybody. That's where the problem begins. Okay? All that falls under the boundaries. So there's a couple of things. Choose you. Choose you. Love you. Self-care. Okay? We are, as the abused has forgotten how to put us first. Because we've been taught that we're not anything. We're not important. We're not going to go anywhere. We're not going to do anything worth doing. And nobody loves us. We've isolated ourselves from our family and the friends we may have had. And it's our fault. That's what they're going to make us believe. They don't talk to you because they don't care about you. They don't love you. No, they don't talk to you because the abuser has made sure you don't have anybody but them. And you've allowed them to do it. So don't lose yourself in all that mess that they've allowed to do to you. Well, we have some blame in that too, because we allowed it to happen, regardless of the reason. But you can get that back. You can reclaim your life. And all that falls under self-care. Okay? Taking your power back. Those are some things you need to do in order to heal from the abuse that you've suffered over the time you've suffered it. It may be a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of years. Abuse takes a heavy toll on everybody. And trust me, it has been, my oldest daughter is 36, almost 37 years old. And this started before she was born. So here I am, still talking about it. And talking helps. Now you can go to professionals. I've had counseling in the past, a lot of it. And I've learned that talking helps. Yes, you still must be careful sometimes who you talk to. Because I've found that sometimes professionals don't help quite as much. It depends. I'm not saying not to go to seek professional help. Understand? I'm not saying to not seek professional help. But sometimes the personal connection works a little better. And for me, it's just like some people learn things by hands-on. Then you got some people that learns better just from visual ways. Like if I can watch something, I can watch you do something and I'll learn just as fast as a person that is working with you actually doing something that they're trying to be taught to do as not the same thing. You know, that depends on the person and how they learn, you know. Every individual is different. Their learning abilities are different, is what I'm trying to say. So this the same way. You may learn better if you go to a professional. Some people may learn better if they can have a one-on-one with someone that has been through it. It just depends. Some people are kind of standoffish. I was standoffish. Professional did okay, but talking to people who really had emotional contact with the situation is how I learned. And that's what helped me. And again, I have a wonderful husband, a wonderful marriage. But that does not change the fact that when you pull up social media or the news or run into someone in the street and you hear stories about things that you can relate to, I can't begin to tell you how it brings back memories and stuff as though it had happened yesterday. I still can't talk about a lot of it because it makes me emotional. So you haven't been through it, be grateful. If you have a sister, a brother, a cousin, a niece, a nephew, you will be surprised what they're going through. Don't let the smiles fool you. Don't let the jumping up and mixing around behavior cause you to think that they're okay. If you notice going on, check in on them daily. A lot. Because they're hurting inside, trust me. But anyway, again, this video wasn't for you. I'm sorry. If it is, I don't know, leave me a comment. Ask a question. Okay? Somehow, people have managed to do anonymous messenger things. I'm not sure how they do it or whatever. I wish I could tell you more about this social media stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to learn more about it. But I try to tap on things that I'm questioned about. Again, I started doing a little bit more video because of some little groups, some domestic violence groups that I had joined when I wrote my book a couple of years ago. I was surprised when I started getting, emails and stuff from people telling me, that they miss me posting different things. And, even though I wasn't getting responses, that to me, that made me think it made a difference. I realized that it did. So thanks anyone for listening, and drop some gems again later. Thank you.